For a long time I was like, I'm not attached to a city, it's just a city, I can live everywhere. After a certain time, you realize that you are really grown into this, in your environment. I did move to other places, and it was only then that I realized, okay, I really am this Amsterdam city person. Yeah, it's like a marriage, in a way. I'm Daan Hofman. I'm a film composer and songwriter, born and based in Amsterdam. My music could be described as playful chamber music with a melancholic touch and lyrical melodies. My passion for music, I think it was always there. I think at around 16 or 17 it really became like this obsession. And that's then when I also started to play the piano very seriously and writing songs and really create my own music. I was always very much a songwriter in the beginning. I had my own little studio, I had a multi-track recorder, and I played in all the instruments with myself, but I was very busy with songwriting. So I was playing, I was writing lyrics, I was arranging gigs, I was arranging the rehearsals, we played, and I'm not the kind of guy who needs to be on the stage. I'm the kind of guy who needs to make music. And making music is more important than performing for me. I stopped touring. I told that to a friend, which I used to tour often, and he said, "Oh yes, you are in the Beatle phase of your career. Now you wanted to make only music in the studio, but you will be back in a few years." But now it was really because I thought there was just too much time went into the touring and into the traveling and into the. I was just way more happy creating. It was actually very simple. So we are now in the center of Amsterdam, Keizersgracht. This is the place where I used to have my studio for almost 15 years, where I started. Well, it's actually a room of nothing. It's only 3 by 4 meters. But I played there all my stuff and I rehearsed there also with the band. For me it was like a gathering place with friends, musicians and music.
Geef me suiker in mijn koffie. Ik wil lente in mijn hoofd. Zomaar lachen zonder reden. Ik wil liefde tot de dood ons scheidt. Ik zal wachten lange nachten, tot het licht weer alles kleurt. Ik doe alle luiken open, tot de kamer straks weer geurt. Hoe leg ik uit over de wereld, zonder blikken, zonder blozen? Werd je wakker van de wekker, ben je nog boos? Geef me suiker in mijn
Yeah, 8 or 10 years ago, I stopped performing and I really wanted to focus more on composing and creating music. And it was then that I also started to build up this studio. And then I got to learn about the computer and about recording. And then suddenly I got obsessed with this electronic side of music and the processing and the way the studio is also a part of the whole instruments family, and you can really create new sounds, and you can change existing sounds into new sounds, and you can create new sounds that sounds like existing instruments, and the whole blending of those two worlds really get my attention. Yeah, the film scoring now for the last 5 years is the main focus of my work. Like songwriting and film scoring, in music-wise, they're both about storytelling, and they're both about creating a musical atmosphere that serves the story. Yeah, what I really like about film scoring, that every film is different, and every film story needs different music, and I really can use all my wider range of interests music-wise. I can use it, and it's a benefit. I mean, I can go from jazz if I want to like intimate folk or classical music. I can make demos that will convince directors about the music. I also have to convince them that we really need to bring people together to play it, to actually play it, because it will be better. And I really have to fight for that a lot of times. At least 5 or 10% of the quality of your music will be in the live recording, and bringing people together and actually play the music. I had this very strange double side already when I was 16 or 17 again. I always liked the classical music in context of theater, so in the chansons or in opera or in film music. I mean, for me, classical music was the music of my parents or even my grandparents. I mean, I liked it, but it didn't speak to me. But then I saw, and I really remember it very well as a sort of turning point, I saw Jacques Brel on television. And it was this clip of Ne me quitte pas, and you see this famous clip of his face. It hit me in the face, really. And then it suddenly changed everything, because I thought, okay, but this is also, for me it's the same intensity and the same urgency as Nirvana. It's very funny. I studied jazz, but I wanted to study jazz because I wanted to conservatory. I was a songwriter at that point, and I was turning into circles, and I really wanted to learn more, because I really felt, okay, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I want to make music, and I didn't want to study classical music because I didn't want to be a classical musician. I just wanted to learn. So I thought, maybe jazz, it's somewhere in between pop music, for me at least, it's somewhere in between pop music and classical music. But I never been a jazz addict, like people are, especially when they study jazz. But I like it, and I know how it works, so I can use it if it's asked. Like for this instance, for this movie, he was very clear about this film. He wanted to have a score which sounds like Kind of Blue by Miles Davis, but I know how it works, so I can do the things to make music that has at least these ingredients and these theories behind it, and we can make it sound a little bit similar. Taking care.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4.